This recording will be broadcast on the authority's website and may be used for training purposes by the Democratic Services Department. All attendees will be in view of the camera, and by attending you are consenting to being filmed and to the possible use of those images and sound recordings being used as outlined above. Can we start the recording then? Good? Fabulous. So any apologies for absence? We have none. Any declarations of interest? Members are reminded of their personal responsibility to declare any personal and prejudicial interest in respect of matters contained in this agenda in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government and Finance Act 1992 relating to council tax, the Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution and the Members' Code of Conduct. Are there any declarations of interest?
No.
None? Fabulous. Agenda item 3 is the application for a new premises licence, 112 Brecon Road, Merthyr Tydfil, CF 47 8NG. To consider the report of the Director of Governance, I hand over to Rhys.
The applicants come in. Yeah.
Should we get the applicants in?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Let's go get them.
Yes.
Right, so just before we proceed with the agenda item, make a prevalent point to obviously introduce ourselves and just allow you all to know that obviously this element of the meeting will be recorded, and obviously being here you are subject to obviously being viewed online as well. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Scott Thomas. I'm the chairperson of the committee and councillor for Merthyr Vale Ward.
I'm Clive Tuvey. I'm the councillor for Vane Ward.
I'm Jill Preston, councillor for Bedlinog and Tree Lewis.
Simon Jones, I'm a solicitor with the authority and I'm here to advise the committee.
Joe Baber, I'm the licensing manager for Merthyr Council.
I'm Paul Cope, I'm licensing officer for Merthyr Council.
And Rhys Firmage, licensing officer, Merthyr Council.
PC Steve Mosley, licensing officer for South Wales Police.
And yourself, sir?
Pleasure. Philip Warren-Clute, 112 Brecon Road.
And yourselves over there?
I'm Hugh Dumsting. I'm the licence holder for Nisa Local Brecon Road.
Okay. Before I hand over to Rhys, I'd like to just bring Simon in to discuss some legal details.
Thank you, Chair. As everyone will be aware, we prepared the paperwork for this hearing in line with the legal requirements. However, yesterday we received some additional information from Mr. Croot, which was sent to all the members of the committee and to Mr. Singh. And again, we had another email this morning from Mr. Croot. I'm not sure if has Mr. Singh seen the one from this morning.
It's been sent. I don't know. Have you checked your emails in the last 45 minutes? No.
Okay,
We've
well,
got hard
let me just
copies.
finish this a sec, right? So, normally we don't allow additional information in if it's something that could have been submitted before, okay? Now, the information that we received yesterday from Mr. Croot was information that had only just come to light. So that was deemed something new. And what legislation says is if something is submitted at a hearing, then it needs the consent of everybody before it's admitted. Well, that's not the case here because the email came in yesterday and first thing this morning. What it says is if you get late information, we must then share it with all the parties, which we have done. Now, I appreciate you may not have seen the last one, and we'll give you, and I think there's been a response as well. Right, so what my legal advice is, if it's reasonable, proportionate, fair, and relevant to what we're going to hear today, then the committee can admit that late evidence, okay? But they haven't made a decision on that yet, so I think that's the first thing we will look at. My legal advice is that it probably is reasonable, proportionate, fair and relevant because it's new information that Mr. Croot couldn't have produced before yesterday. Am I right there, Mr. Croot? Right, okay. It was sent to Mr. Singh. You have responded. We had quite a lengthy email disputing what Mr. Croot has said. That, of course, is relevant and that will similarly be, if that's going to be admitted, that's admitted, okay? I don't think Mr. Croot has had a chance to see the...
No, he wouldn't know.
No, so he hasn't seen what you have sent, and you haven't seen the second email. It's a lot shorter, it won't take you long to read, and it's in the same vein, okay? So what I'm going to suggest we do, Chair, if it's okay with you, we'll give you 10 minutes to have a look at what was received this morning from Mr. Croot, and we'll give you 10 minutes to have a look at what was said by Mr. Singh in response to your original emails, okay? And then once everyone's fully appraised on what we've got to consider today, we'll crack on with the hearing. But we've only set aside an hour for this, okay? So we can't give you too long to read it. Mr. Croot's additional email isn't that long. Yours is a bit longer, but it's basically disputing what he has said, okay? So, Chair, over to you at this stage.
So obviously, if all members in attendance are in agreement, just give it like a sort of 10-minute sort of recess. And yeah, so yeah, obviously with everybody's agreement, what we'll do then, we'll pause the live stream 10 minutes to give everybody an opportunity to catch up on information that obviously has been provided within the last half hour, 45 minutes. Okay, so thank you. If you can pause the live. everybody. Thank you. So as I just said, obviously everybody's taken in the information and everybody agrees that they're happy with it. So we'll omit that into the application, so that will stay as involved now. Just for housekeeping purposes, can we just have the other people who I failed to have sort of introduce themselves just now? So obviously if you could introduce yourselves, I'd start with yourself over there. Could you introduce yourself to the committee, please? Sorry.
My name is Tracy. I'm Warren's wife.
Thank you very much. And the rest of you guys there then.
My name is Jasvia Ko. I'm owner of Nisa Local on Brecon Road.
Hi, I'm
You need to
Tan.
click on that. Oh, sorry.
Tan Kaur, and I'm the daughter of both Jasvia Kaur and Udam Singh.
And yourself. Tan.
ROOP, and the surname is Kaur. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you. And yourself?
Hiya, I am Bal Kaur, BAL, and I'm the sister of Mr. Singh.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Obviously, just for some housekeeping purposes. Yeah, so obviously, everybody happy, so we will move on. I will hand over to Rhys to obviously introduce the item. Thank you. Rhys?
Thank you, Chair. Members, this report relates to an application for a new premises licence under the Licensing Act 2003 in respect of 112 Brecon Road, Merthyr Tydfil, CF 47 8NG. The application was made by Mr. Philip Warren Croot. All responsible authorities were consulted and the application was advertised in accordance with the statutory requirements. Relevant representations were received during the consultation period and the matter is therefore before the Licensing Committee for determination. This application seeks authorisation for the sale of alcohol for consumption off the premises only during the following hours: Monday to Saturday 8 AM to 10 PM, Sunday 10 AM to 10 PM. The premises is intended to operate as a small convenience store, selling everyday household goods with alcohol sales forming part of the offer. Wines and spirits are proposed to be stored behind the counter. Please see the application attached as Appendix A to the report. The premises location has further been provided in the report at Appendix B. Representations were received from South Wales Police and Trading Standards during the representation period, and these can be found at Appendix C and D in the report. Following discussions with the applicant, agreement was reached on a package of conditions relating to CCTV, incident recording, staff training, Challenge 25 age verification procedures, refusal records, and measures to address public nuisance. As a result, both South Wales Police and Trading Standards have confirmed to the licensing authority that they have no objection to the licence being granted subject to those conditions. Please see those conditions attached as Appendix H in the report. Representations were also received from other persons found at Appendix E and F in the report. A representation was received from Mr. Robert Williams raising concerns under the public safety objective. Further representations were received from Udam Singh and Jasvir Kaur raising concerns relating to the prevention of crime and disorder, the prevention of public nuisance, the protection of children from harm and public safety. These concerns raised include antisocial behaviour, alcohol-related issues in the locality, traffic and parking concerns, litter and nuisance, and the proximity of the premises to routes used by children travelling to and from school. The applicant provided written submissions in response to these representations, and please see this attached at Appendix G to the report. The applicant refers to his experience of operating other licensed premises within the county borough and outlines the measures that will be implemented at the premises to promote the licensing objectives, including the CCTV, staff training Challenge 25 refusals, registers and incident recording procedures. Members should also note that following publication of the agenda and circulation of the committee report, further information was submitted by the applicant and objector for consideration by the subcommittee. The additional information has subsequently been circulated to members, and parties of the hearing have been emailed and provided with additional hard copies for representations that they haven't seen before today's meeting. The additional submissions raised matters which the applicant contends are relevant to the representations made by Mr. Singh and Mrs. Kaur, and the contents of those submissions are obviously a matter for members to determine today. Members are reminded that the application must be determined on its individual merits with regards to the application and operating schedule, representations received, the applicant's submissions, the Home Office Section 182 guidance, and the Council Statement of Licensing Policy. And the relevant paragraphs for the Home Office guidance and the Statement of Licensing Policy have been included in the report. Options available to members today are included in Section 2.1 of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Rhys. Sorry, mine's gone totally blank. So from here now is representation.
Jim, if I can just explain the procedure, okay? Let me just explain. So that's the report. You've all seen the report. There's nothing new in there whatsoever, okay? So you can ask questions of Rhys. You can ask questions of Rhys, but I don't think there's anything he's saying. He's just producing what has been submitted by Mr. Croot and what everybody else has submitted, okay? So what we normally do then is we move on to the objectors. So we've got one from Mr. Williams, Robert Williams. He's not here today, is he? So perhaps we need to read that one out. Obviously, you were here to set out your concerns, okay? We've got your written representations, but it's your opportunity to amplify on that, okay? Once that's done, people can ask questions of you, and then we normally go to the applicant at the end to say why he thinks, I mean, this is a good idea, that he should get a license. Slightly different here in that there are new issues raised, which you both say completely different versions. You admit there was conversations, but the tone of the conversations are different. So it may well be that I'll read Mr. Williams's representation first, and then we'll go to you. Then we'll go to Mr. Croot, and he will say things that you're going to then be disputing, and we'll go back to you then, so we can. And if we need to go back to you, we'll go back to you. All right. All we need to do is make sure we got all the information to hand to make an informed decision. It's not a court of law, but we got to try and get some proper structure here. Otherwise, we'll be all over the shop. Okay. All right. So if we go to the representation of Robert Williams, if I read that, it says, I'd like to object to the premises license at 112 Brecon Road. I run the pub directly opposite. That's the park view, yeah. And my main concern is the location. The property is on a bend in the road and there's no customer parking available. The whole area is covered by double yellow lines, but vehicles already stop there regularly. From where I'm situated, I see this happening on a daily basis. If this license is granted, I believe it's likely to increase the number of vehicles stopping outside the premises or running inside to buy items. I'm concerned that this will make an already difficult stretch of road more dangerous for drivers and pedestrians. I'm also concerned about people crossing the road between the two premises. Being directly opposite means customers may cross between the buildings, and with the bend in the road, I do not think this is ideal from a safety point of view. My objection is based on the road layout, lack of parking, and the potential impact on public safety in this particular location. I respectfully ask that that application is refused. So that's Mr. Williams's objection to Mr. Croot's application, and it is based upon public safety there. He's saying that people will be crossing the road, cars will be parked in dangerous positions, causing a public safety issue. So the next representations then come from, we've got, let's have a look. The first one comes from, it's a joint representation from Udam Singh and Jasveer Kaur. So if we move on to that one came in during the the required period for representations. So perhaps at this stage, Chair, if we hear from who's going to speak? Are you both going to speak, or Mr. Singh, Mrs. Cow? Are you happy with that? Okay, just to be clear, because you haven't made a representation, you are entitled to speak on behalf of somebody, to be their voice, but you can't say anything new, right? You can only deal with what's in the representations, and then we'll get to the point in issue at a later stage. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
So our representation is mainly against the 4 points. So prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, prevention of public nuisance, and protection of children from harm. So just talking about prevention of crime and disorder, to start there. Obviously, we own a business along Brecon Road ourselves, and the issue of alcohol misuse, drug misuse along, and antisocial behaviour along the Brecon Road area has increasingly become significant over the last period of time. It has become a lot worse. Adding another convenience store where there's already 2 within that vicinity would further add to those issues in our area, which is not what any of us want at all. That would then just create more antisocial behaviour, public nuisance, which is, as I said, isn't ideal for the area within itself. And another point that I'd just like to mention is public safety. So it is on the corner bend, as mentioned earlier. Just that there's no dedicated customer parking. There's a lot of motorists that stop on that road. There is obviously quite a lot of children that cross by coming from Cyfarthfa schools. And the safety of those with cars stopping, lorries stopping. It is also on the corner bend, so how safe that would be, I'm not so sure. I also want to say then, prevention of public nuisance. As you can see, if anyone has been on the Brecon Road area, there is a lot of alcohol-related litter, all within the area, packagings or just bottles, and there's a lot of gatherings, of large groups that are intoxicated within that area itself. So I feel like adding to that further is not what we need within that area at all. I'm not sure if the petition has come through, but that also had 200 signatures from local residents who also agreed on this matter themselves as well. But yeah, and then protection of children from harm, as I was mentioned earlier, that there is a public schools nearby. And just adding to that is one, not for the safety of themselves as well, to be exposed to such behaviour, and yeah, that's just mainly protecting them from harm. But yeah, that's all I'd like to add to that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. I think what you got to be aware of, and it's something that I would advise the committee, is you mention issues of public safety, in particular, that cars will be parked outside, children will be crossing the road, and all stuff like that. But you got to remember that that shop can open anyway, regardless of what we do today. All they won't be able to do is sell alcohol. So the issues with cars parking, if Mr. Croot wanted to open it as a convenience store but without alcohol, and I'm sure that's not something you're looking to do, but he could open it without alcohol and there would still be cars parking. So what we have to satisfy ourselves with is the points you raised about nuisance, about antisocial behaviour, about litter, about public safety. We have to satisfy ourselves. How would selling alcohol make it worse? I take your point. It's obvious in relation to the points you make about drink-related antisocial behaviour. You're saying that more opportunities to buy alcohol is going to cause people to be able to get drunk, all right? That's easy. But things like the parking is a hard one for us to deal with, because he can open anyway. In the same way as, you know, if you lost your liquor license, you can still open, you can sell everything else, and cars can still park on the side. So just be aware that we have to factor that in, okay? Okay, Chair, I just wanted to point that out.
So have we got any questions from ourselves here? Nothing? No. So nothing from ourselves up here, so.
Obviously you mentioned specifically alcohol litter around the place, a lot of it in relation to alcohol. Nuisance, antisocial behaviour. Of course, you know, I mean, what again the committee have to be cognizant of is the fact that all these problems that you say are there, and I've no doubt what you're saying is correct. None of them can be currently attributed to Mr. Croot's store, can it? You know what I mean? So we've not got a cumulative impact policy which says that you can limit it and say there's too many. You can't do that. We can only limit the number of premises if we believe that in granting the license to Mr. Croot, it's going to breach the licensing objectives. And I know that's what you're saying, isn't it, right? And we will take all that into account. But if you've got no further questions for the respondents there, perhaps at this stage we could move over to... Yeah, sorry.
I just wanted like to say that, but by opening another off license, by having alcohol again given to people, so then it is increasing crime rates. And I'm sure South Wales Police, if they do a bit of digging, they can see from such a years, as my brother's been here over 20 odd years, that the crime rate hasn't come down for Brecon Road, it's gone up. Of all of the people being intoxicated, then the knife crime and stuff like that. I think if South Wales have got the evidence, that could really be needed to be seen. Because us keep saying antisocial, we put our point forward, but the evidence is with the police.
Well, of course, the police are satisfied with the application, providing they adhere to the conditions that are requested. The same for trading standards. Steve, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, in relation to the location, as far as the length of time that I've been a licensing officer covering Merthyr Tydfil, there hasn't been any reports relating to that specific area. Granted, Brecon Road covers long distance, but in regards to antisocial behaviour, what we're going to take into account as well, there's a licensed premises directly opposite, which is Parkview, and when myself and my colleagues conduct our licensing checks, on a daily basis or over the weekend, there's never any sort of reports regarding any disorder that's even linked to alcohol from that location also. In regards to sort of highway issues with traffic, etc., it is covered with double yellow lines. There is also a church directly opposite, which in hindsight's a wonderful thing with potential RTCs and traffic collisions, but they don't occur. The conditions that I've sort of requested reflect the location, but also reflect other sort of licensed premises. With the protection of children from harm, there are sort of conditions that I put in place that would safeguard children and any vulnerable persons entering the store to purchase alcohol, etc. And along with sort of CCTV conditions that would encompass any potential crime or disorder that would assist with deterring and also providing evidence to the police within any golden hour inquiries, etc. But in regards to sort of any historic reports to the police, we've received no complaints for that specific area.
I might have a question of a point of clarity. I don't know, obviously, Simon, feel free to stop me if I'm sort of falling foul of anything here. hypothetically, obviously, in the circumstances provided by obviously the respondents there, if ASB has been increasing over a period of time, obviously without Mr. Croot's obviously facility being there now, could that not potentially open up the remaining facilities that do provide alcohol, bring them open to being obviously looked at and obviously investigated for their part in this as well? Is that something, because that obviously to me is obviously if it has been increasing, and I'm not pointing a finger of blame anywhere, but obviously if it has been increasing and the fact that is obviously the sales of alcohol along Brecon Road, wouldn't that automatically fall with the current providers of alcohol along Brecon Road?
Yeah, I sort of agree. I mean, if it's sort of already, there's concerns surrounding sort of antisocial behaviour, crime disorder relating to alcohol, then surely would sort of fall down to the existing sort of premises in that location. As far as sort of antisocial behaviour goes, that specific part of Brecon Road is not one of our hotspots. I can't really agree to that one.
No, thanks for the clarity on that. Obviously, I just wanted it was more for my own peace of mind, I think, that I wanted sort of understanding on that. But yeah, appreciate your answer. Thank you.
Chair, I suppose Brecon Road is a very long road, starts at the end of town and goes, so it's a bit of a thoroughfare. People will walk along Brecon Road if they go into the Gurnos, I mean places along there. So I suppose some of the alcohol that is being consumed and then being abused by antisocial behaviour could have been bought in town, not necessarily from Brecon Road, that people are drinking in town, buying their alcohol in Tesco's or whatever, and then going that way.
Yeah, and it also could be the other way around, with obviously people walking from those areas, Kevin, Town, Gurnos and things like that, are obviously purchasing throughout and consuming on the way towards town for a night out. There's obviously multiple variables in this. I obviously just wanted clarity from a Brecon Road specific, I think, point of view, really.
Chair, can I just add, we are now approaching the football season with Penydarren Park, a stone throw away from that location. Again, even during football seasons, we're not getting or experiencing antisocial behaviour or crime and disorder relating to alcohol.
Sorry, would I be able to just add something to that?
Certainly.
Thank you. I just want to say, sorry, just adding on to your point about current alcohol, where you can purchase alcohol on Brecon Road, sorry. From my parents' perspective, we did have 4 shops, for which, trying to do our part, we did sell 3 of them just because we didn't like how much it was, selling out alcohol to local residents, hence why we sold 3 of those. And then onto the police's point, from within our area that my parents have reported various crimes that have happened from people drinking, coming in, causing problems in the shop, stealing, fights outside. There was one incident where, there was literally a fight outside on the corner of the street because people were intoxicated. And even around that area you can find things that have been used for drugs misplaced all over the floor. So I'm not sure how those reports haven't come through, because even recently I know that we've reported incidents to the police of incidents that have happened that are alcohol related. I just wanted to add those. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for that, and we'll take that into account, because sometimes things aren't always joined up. But we've got what the police have said, and we've heard what you said. Do you have any questions to the... what I was going to do next was come to you so you can outline... Maybe it's probably best if we just go to you and we can have any questions between the two of you at the end. So is there anything you want to say now in support of your application?
I totally understand what they're saying about alcohol-related crimes, underage. We are heavily investing in some new AI technology. I think it'll be the first in, Merthyr, maybe South Wales. And basically this is facial recognition. So even if somebody's got fake ID, it can basically, the AI can tell how old they are up to 99%. So this is something I'm planning to install in the shops. It's actually just come out.
Yeah, Chair, we're aware of some licensed premises, certainly within the RON, that use a queue racker machine. I'm not sure if that is the queue racker machine. They're widely used in Cardiff, nightclubs, that sort of thing. They're able to scan a copy of government ID and compare that with a picture taken at the time of the person in front of the machine. They compare the two and they give the person using the machine an answer as to whether that is the person who's presenting the ID. That in turn is able to guide people who are running the licensed premises in making a decision as to whether they're going to provide that person with alcohol or not.
So I suppose as long as you signage to say you're coming in the store knowing that you're going to be subject to facial recognition, it's legal. Okay.
Yeah, so there's obviously a massive problem, because I got the vape shops in Merthyr, and there's obviously a massive problem at the moment with underage. There's problems with shops doing illegal vapes, giving everybody a bad name, basically. So I understand what they're saying. With regards to Brecon Road, there is WL lines on the road, but there is no WL lines opposite the shop from the Chinese all the way down to more or less the Nisa. I did send photographs over so you could see. So there is a massive stretch of road where there is parking allowed. I think, like, obviously, I know Sid for a long time, and nothing but respect for Sid. He's done a great business 20 years, and he operates with WL lines on both sides of the road. So where I am, there's only WL lines on the one side of the road, on the corner. Opposite there is directly, but about 4 doors down from the park view, 5 doors possibly, there is no parking restrictions at all. So there is no problem with deliveries, there's no problems parking. I did have the shop about 4 or 5 doors down, which did operate as a vape shop for about 6 months, 9 months. But they had to close because there was a problem at the back end, nothing to do with the shop, there was a problem with rodents. So obviously staff safety came first, the shop had to close. But the shop operated successfully, there was parking at opposite. Everybody loved the shop, there was no issues. I said, as related to the parking issues with the airlines, I mean, the police report, I'm assuming, has looked at the parking, looked at the airlines. There's been no restrictions by the police highlighting anything to do with parking. There's, like I said, there's WL lines to the Chinese, I believe, and that is it. So there's the 25 risk condition. We agree to all the conditions to promote the licensing objectives. Neither the police or trade stands have any objections with anything. Addressing the parking objectives by Mr Williams. South Wales Police are experts in safety and traffic. They evaluate the site and raise no public safety, as I just said. The existing president, as my photographs show, the commercial properties along Brecon Road, including Nisa, already operate safely alongside these exact same yellow line restrictions and have done so very successfully for many years. The Nisa shop, obviously the contradiction, I must address the representation submitted by the Nisa store. The written objections heavily cites road safety, deliveries, hazards and lack of parking. There you've got WL lines on both sides of the road, so how do they have deliveries successfully done? Is it down the side? I mean, if you look at the photos that I took off Google, you will see a delivery lorry parked outside the park view, and that is doing deliveries, and that's off Google Earth. So the park view is making objections when they're obviously having deliveries outside the park view. The cellar doors are directly outside the door, outside the window. They're not parking up the road and rolling the barrels up the pavement. They're parking outside and putting them in. I know there's a connection, obviously, between the Nisa shop and the park view. I'm not sure if you own the park view, do you? Or? Yeah, so there's a connection there. So I don't think the objection by the park view is relevant, because obviously it's the same party in that respect. Same logistic to an owner, they explicitly confirmed the intention to operate a similar convenience store from this exact building, retailing. Like I said, I did speak to, since I forgot your name, on Saturday on the phone, Jazz, and she expressed that she wanted to buy the shop. She did say that she was interested in doing cakes, ice cream, no mention of alcohol. She didn't mention alcohol at all, but the same restrictions apply. If you're going to have deliveries, if you're going to have people parking outside, whatever the shop is going to be the same thing. I mean, you've got hairdressers opened up next door, you've got the plum base, you've got the beauty place, you've got Hair by Pauline. All those shops have been operating on that road for many, many, many years. So there's never been a problem. Why would people invest in Brecon Road? Why would they go back there if there's a problem with parking? They obviously can, they work. You know, the Nisa shop, like I said, has had it for many years, and he's done a great job. But I'm not looking to do a corner shop as in competition with Sid. All I'm looking at doing is a small convenience store. It's probably about 1/10 the size of what he's got. It's basically the people, like when I opened the shop up in Dowlas, I was met with, there was no alcohol in the Dowlas shop, just a vape shop. And when I opened it up in Dowlas, people were like, oh, we don't want another vape shop, oh, it's going to be terrible, this, that, and everything else. When I opened it, within a week, all I had was positive feedback. All I had was local people, older people usually, people that are afraid to go to town, afraid to get a bus. They go to town, they met with people begging outside, they met with druggies, they met with people drunk and basically begging for money outside. It's a massive problem in Merthyr. I know because I've got the 2 shops in Merthyr town. So a lot of people, they prefer the local communities. They don't want to go out, especially if they're old and they don't drive. So it's a convenience for them. And it's the same thing with Brecon Road. I did the Swansea Road roughly 1 year ago, it opened up. And I did it under Officer Mosley's guidance. He told me exactly what to do, where to put the alcohol behind the counter. The only alcohol out on the floor is literally the big 10 packs of beer. Everything else is behind the counter. We've had no problem at all with Swansea Road, nothing. In fact, we helped catch, due to the CCTV, there was a guy up there, he was
Adult
nappies. He was throwing them out every morning on the road. I don't know why, but he was. But the police come to the shop, they had CCTV footage of us, it helped catch the guy. The same thing for the Dowler shop. There's been no end of time the police have come to Dowler shop and I've asked for CCTV footage because it literally overlooks the car park, and we've given CCTV footage to the police. I wouldn't like to say how many times, 20 times maybe over the last couple of years. There's been the car crashed into the shop opposite. I think it was only literally a month ago, the police were there again. We total transparency. I said to them, come into the shop, here's a USB, take whatever you want, nothing hide, and it helps catch people who are really doing wrong. And the same thing for the shops in town. We work with trade standards. I work with them if there's any problems with illegal shops and they want advice. I work with Craig Rushton, no end of times on it. He hasn't got no objections. Like I said, I'm not looking to do Brecon Road as a off-licence or a bargain booze. It's simply going to be a token gesture. You can't do a corner shop without putting alcohol in it. I mean, it's not even big enough to do a lot in it. You know what I mean? It's simply a token gesture. It's probably, like I said, 1/10 the size of Nisa. It's nothing to do with competition. I understand Sid might have reservations, think it's competition, but it really isn't. It's not going to be that shop. And to be honest, I did express a while back, and I said to Reece that, you know, if there's a concern on Brecon Road about alcohol, I'm quite happy to change the licence. Why don't we all change the licence and change the times? And then that should then bring into line the problems on Brecon Road. You know, I understand parking, I get it, and you're right what they're saying, but there is no parking opposite the shop. And I said, I don't know if you've got the photos there, you can see it goes all the way down. There's the state on the left, I can't think what it's called, the new one.
I'm not sure.
And it carries on down, and there's no yellow lines at all.
Okay, thanks for that. I think I'll come back to you at the moment because I think what Mr. Crute just said was that you had contacted him about buying the store, but it was not for an alcohol store, it was for a cake shop or something different. Is that correct?
Yeah. If you leave it. Yes, we had the conversation because the guy done the work for us before. He come to the shop, Rudian, and he asked me if I want to buy that because I think you've done the work for Warren in the shop. And he said, just you want to buy that shop? Is done out nicely. You don't need to spend the money because you do buy properties. Because I said if I could do the Airbnb, then we fine. Because we sold our 3 shops and we're turning all our other properties for holiday homes, which is more demand in Merthyr because we do different trade totally. That's why my concern. If we want to sell it, I buy it and turn it to holiday homes.
Okay, so so that would be very limited people visiting that store there. But you mentioned cake shop. Was that
No, I thought that's probably somebody else mentioned to me. If because when we was doing the conversation in the shop, other people listen conversation same time, and the other customer they suggest how to say suggest to me I don't know how to say
No,
this.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mum's English is not so great, hence why I was speaking on her behalf. I think what mum is trying to say is someone also suggested to her. I think her conversation with Warren, I was also there at the time, it was a phone call conversation. It was a casual conversation about potential ideas that could happen in that store if they were to buy it, which then Warren had offered a price on the phone. So I just want to say, and also a while back they were also offered to buy the store as well. So I just want to put that up.
Okay, I don't think we need to get bogged down in this. Okay, hold on. But I don't think we need to get bogged down in it. I think what was probably concerning me and would concern the committee is if you're making representation, forget about the alcohol, about public safety, parking, etc., and you were similarly looking to open a cake shop or something like that, and we'd have to ask, well, hold on, how would it be bad for Mr. Croot but wouldn't be bad for you? But what you're saying to me is you were thinking more along the lines of a Airbnb, right? I know perhaps Mr. Croot may say different. I don't think we need to get into that, right? Because you're both saying something different if that's the case, all right? And we're not here to make that judgment call. So I think the committee's got enough on that. I don't know, do you want to add anything more than what has already been said?
Yeah, what I wanted to say was if we did open like a cake or ice cream parlour, I don't know where they think that the delivery is going to come with a lorry and be parking on the double yellow lines, because nowadays every cake shop doesn't do fresh cakes, they do frozen. So literally that parcel can come to the house, it's all packed with the proper like chilled stuff and everything. You bring it to the actual shop itself and then you unpack it, defrost it for the 12-13 hours, and then you put it in your counter.
So you were thinking of a cake shop?
No, if there was that I'm just putting that point across, that does not come in deliveries because I do it myself. I have a cake shop as well.
So there's no further questions from us then.
Okay, so we've listened to what you said, we've listened to what the police have said, we've listened to what Mr. Croot has said, and we have to make a determination as to whether or not to grant the licence in the terms requested by Mr. Croot, subject to the police's conditions, trading standards conditions. We'll take into account our policy, we'll take into account the evidence that we've heard, as I said, and we'll take into account the guidance that the government have issued. So I'll ask everyone to leave now. I'll stay back with the committee, and we will let you know, everybody we'll let you know. I'm finishing work tomorrow for a little break, so I want to get this finished by tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we'll have a decision which we can share with you. If we decide not to grant, then you can appeal to the Magistrates' Court. Similarly, you can appeal to the Magistrates' Court as well, all right? But you'll have full reasons. Whichever decision we take, the full reasons will be there. So we'll do that now this afternoon. We've got another matter starting now at 2 o'clock, another one at 3 o'clock. So I'm not going to get a chance to look at this with the committee until tomorrow, okay? So we'll have something done by close of play tomorrow. Okay, thank you all for attending.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, guys. You're obviously free to leave now. Yeah. And as the next item